Everyone, welcome back to episode 3 for the uranium updates. Again, just weekly updates in terms of we're looking at the fundamentals, the supply, the demand, the news stories that's coming out. Again, a lot of it is short-term noise. You want to avoid a lot of it, but anything to strengthen your fundamentals, your conviction for the stock, I think that's crucial because, again, we're long-term investors here. Don't panic sell. The money is made in being long-term. Even just set it and forget it. But again, if you have an interest in it like I do, it's always useful to see this sort of stuff, see what the companies are coming out with. But let's dive straight in. So we're getting again straight in with the supply shortage. There's a crunch on supply for uranium. You can see here that the uncovered utility requirements, you can see there across each country, Africa, South America, United States, for example, total requirements is there, and you can see the absolute pull and demand that's forecasted going forward. Even the huge demands going forward of what the utility need, their requirements, you can see there's the total requirements. It's still uncovered. There's simply a massive supply shortage. We have enough uranium in the world. The trouble is it's under the floor. It's under the ground. So again, all it really is, mining companies, is transferring energy into an asset, into a commodity, and that's obviously later burned, and that's where the energy's come from. So again, with all these rising inflation prices and interest rates as well, again, can these mines come into production? We've not seen these juniors actually produce any uranium previously. Can they do it? We'll have to see. Again, another one here. This is by Capital 10X. The uranium investment opportunity in 2 pictures. Very, very simple. If anything, this should be your conviction. Why do you own uranium? Here you go. Demand in the blue, millions of pounds on the side. This is just for North America. Mill capacity, mine supply. So this is the big one here. So there's the demand. There's the shortage there, or 15 to 40. So you can see there straight away, 25 million pounds is unaccounted for. So we'll have to find where that is somewhere. Get out the floor. But a massive, massive strong fundamental on the supply side. World's biggest uranium miner warns of production shortfall. Kazatomprom says sulfuric acid shortages impacting output. Uranium price have soared on demand boom. Supply setbacks. Again, demand is strong as ever, but the massive behemoths, these huge companies, 40% of the world's uranium comes from Kazakhstan. Kazatomprom, and they also have joint ventures with the likes of China. You can see here that they're having sulfuric acid shortages, and that their guidance of their production is getting lower and lower each year. People say it's going to impact 2024. We think it's going to go further to 2025 and beyond that. World's biggest uranium miner warns a shortfall just as nuclear demand takes off. Again, the setback adds to a list of supply challenges that has helped the catapult spot uranium price to 15-year highs. Again, this is the likes of Kazatomprom and also Cameco as well have just come out. I don't think any uranium miner has actually hit their production for 2023. Biden officially presses Congress for uranium-enriched funding. Again, they're desperate to secure energy security. It needs to go to the US. They're getting a bit worried about how secure Russia is and China is, because 80% of that, 40% of that Kazatomprom production, 80% of that goes to Russia and China. So again, there's only that's even not encountered the geopolitical risk of Russia. If they suddenly say, we're not going to deal with the US, we'll have to get to the likes of Niger, Australia and stuff like that. But then you've also coups in Niger. How are you going to get it out? We've got kind of a shortage in bulk carriers. How are we going to transport this stuff to the likes of US? Biden offers companies millions to help US break Russia's monopoly on a vital resource. There you go, there's another article there from the HuffPost, just reaffirming that Russia has got a big monopoly and a big grasp on the whole world when it comes to this. It's a hot topic. So uranium, it's gone from absolutely hated to now seems that everybody wants it. Governments have finally grasped the need for nuclear power, but there isn't just enough of the key element that's needed for it. Strong supply versus demand. Again, another one summed up your conviction. 433 operating reactors in 32 countries. 61 reactors under construction in 18 countries. Uncovered uranium requirements, 2.3 billion pounds through 2040, more than 500 million pounds uncovered through 2030, utility actively increasing. Era of overhang is officially ended. Again, the secondary supply, the excess supply is gone. New production is needed. Inventories no longer cover shortfalls. Limited investment over prolonged downturn. Less and richer underfeeding. So this is a similar sort of story. This is the commodity cycle where you kind of get the ups and downs. That's why it's cyclical. What you tend to get is there's not enough capex, not enough investment going into these spaces. Again, the incentive price drops below the cost curve of these companies. So why would I carry on looking for new wells if it's oil? Why would I carry looking for new discoveries batteries if it's copper or uranium when I'm not actually going to be paid for it? It's such a hated sector. Everyone's chasing shiny gold objects like Bitcoin and penny stocks that no one's willing to throw money around and speculate in these junior companies. We're seeing the same in oil. I've uploaded an oil series as well. Check out my channel. It's a brand new channel that goes over the oil fundamentals on, for example, looking, is the tech sector overvalued? Nvidia, I believe, is now worth more than 20 energy space companies combined. So we're looking at where the value is, and is the supply dropping off for oil? That's going to be the next thing. So check out that video. But back to uranium, looking at the demand drivers, the biggest expansion of nuclear power for 70 years. This is from the UK government website, to create jobs, reduce bills and strengthen Britain's energy security. Roadmap sets out how the UK will increase nuclear generation by up to 4 times by 2050. We have the Hinkley Point C, massive, great build. It's way over budget, way over time. I don't even know if the cost per the electric output is even going to be justified, because it's a weird partnership with the EDF from France. So it's a bit weird how it works, but we'll have to see what happens. But it's kind of a massive overlook on the UK's point of view there. It's a little bit too late, really. I think it started construction in 2008 and it's still not done, which is 2024. So yeah, UK releases roadmap to quadruple nuclear energy capacity, and that's the same, just above, by 2050 as well, representing about 25% of the country's projected electricity demand. Huge whacking increase of what it needs. So Department of Energy, DOE announces next steps to build domestic uranium supply for advanced nuclear reactors as part of its President Biden's investing in American agenda. So this is where he's doubling down. This is where he's investing energy security. And I imagine it's going to be the same story no matter what president gets in, whatever political party gets in. It's something that's a real geopolitical risk. UEC, Uranium Energy Corp, restarting 100% unhedged. I will come on to that in a second. Uranium production in Wyoming. So again, on the balance sheet, part of their strategy has been to remain unhedged. Produced uranium will be sold at the spot market price. So rather than the term market price, I know Cameco, they're signing contracts. It's still, even the spot price is like 103. They're still signing a lot of their contracts at around 70, 75. It might even be lower than that, because that is the term price, the long term. Their strategy for UEC is go, no, we don't want that. It's a seller's market. We're going to charge you. You can see there, $106 per pound as of January the 15th. So that's their strategy. They're going in for the top margins. Okay, that's one we've just gone over, the UK. And the bottom one as well, what I just need to mention, Russia influence. So together, the United States, Canada, France, Japan, and the UK, so what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries have announced collective plans to mobilize $4.2 billion in government-led spending to develop safe and secure energy supply chains. The world's waking up. They're getting a bit scared. Total Energy seeks long-term nuclear power purchase deal with the EDF to help fund new reactors. Again, you can see it's rated by nuclear power through France. Long-term contracts to help under the construction of new atomic plants, the oil and gas giants. You can see there. A lot of them are, maybe we start seeing that. Maybe we start to see oil and gas companies start piquing interest in uranium. India will commission a nuclear power reactor every year, says the chief. So interview with BC Patak on India's nuclear power plants and strategy. Capital Power and OPG to assess use of small modular reactors in Alberta. You can see here, India will commission a nuclear power reactor every year. India has got a hell of a growth behind it. If it continues on its growth trajectory, it's going to be a hell of a need on energy security for India. And you can see here the last one as well for this episode, the Economic Times. Nuclear energy players need to take 90% uranium price spike bill, or you have to shut the plants. And the thing that I want you guys to think about as well is that when you factor in how much the fuel costs for these whacking great power plants, it's not a lot at all. So I don't know the rough figures. Go and check out more experts in the place. I will try and find some more information on this. Justin Hume, the Uranium Insider, if you search on YouTube, he's absolutely brilliant, real insider. He knows all his stuff. I think it's roughly around 3 to 5%. So let's say uranium goes to $300 per pound. Yes, okay, for all us investors, that's eye-watering, that's mental. But for a utility that, again, it's in their best, they're not buying it for profit. They don't get commission on the margins. They don't care. Their sole job is they've got enough money. They get government funding. They just need to secure the uranium off the market, make sure they have enough for their country and their people. So if uranium went to something crazy, $300 per pound, $500 per pound, something mental, if that's only 3 to 5% of the cost of the whole power plant, would that influence the energy price that consumers would pay? Probably not. So again, it probably won't impact them. So that's something to think about as well. Could we easily see high uranium prices? Absolutely. You don't want to get carried away and chase green candles, and it's all about working out your risk to reward and making sure the fundamentals and your conviction is, as soon as your conviction changes, I would say, yeah, leave the space. But as far as what I'm presenting to you now, it's not financial advice. As long as the conviction and the fundamentals look strong, I don't see why you would need to sell. Maybe take profits if you've been in it from the start, but again, there's that saying of you don't get broke taking profits. Yes, but you could have made more money if you stuck to your conviction, carry on going. Again, it's not financial advice, it's completely up to you what you do. All I'm bringing to you is a news update of the fundamentals, and that's what I've done today. So be sure to subscribe. Again, I've brought out one for crude oil, bringing out another one for natural gas shortly, and also did a bit of episode on renewables as well, what I personally don't think wind farms, solar, that sort of stuff's going to work. The only renewable energy I can see is uranium. But anyway, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. Thanks for subscribe. It's a brand new channel. Would help me out massively. Amazing. Thank you so much. Take care.